Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. I just realised there's been another shark attack. I've always been interested in shark attacks, but I didn't realise how many there had been recently. I just saw an article about a 10-year-old boy in Tasmania. He was dragged off a 6-metre boat. He was out there with his father and another man or two men, and they were fishing, and he got pulled into the water, and the father jumped in and rescued him, and he's got injuries, but he's okay. But there's just been a lot of shark attacks. There's been three fatalities in the last month, is it? Or is it week? 3 in 5 days, that's right, yeah. And there have been a lot of attacks as well, not all of them fatal, fortunately. Like there's one in January, there was a guy called Gary Johnson, who's 57, who was killed near Cull Island. Someone 6th of April, it was 23, and it was in, oh God, I can't even read my writing. There's another guy on the 4th of July, at the 7th of June, the 4th of July, and the 11th of July, and then just a couple of days ago. So I'm just really surprised. Normally there aren't a lot of attacks in Australia. And certainly not a lot of fatalities. People are always going on about how, there are so few shark attacks, you're more likely to get killed in a car accident or a million other ways. And I myself don't swim. I don't swim. I never learned how to swim because I was too scared to learn how to swim, I think. And I've been interested in shark attacks ever since I was a kid. In 1993, there was a 6-metre great white took a mother of, I think, was it 4? I think she was a mother of quintuplets. I've got an old article in front of me, but I can't find it. So she was already kind of famous in the area because she had either 4 or 5 children. I can't remember which it was, but it was like an unusual. So she was diving with her family, and she was taken. And then a week later, and the other thing was this happened. 10th Island is just off the coast from where I live. I lived in basically a beach town, Georgetown, Tasmania. There's like Low Head, which is like the beach area, and we lived in the town, so it's just a couple of kilometres. And my sister lived, actually 2 of my sisters lived in the area, and it was just everybody saw this story. Basically it was Jaws, like a 6-metre great white, a 5-metre great white takes a mother of 5 in front of everyone, just off the coast of where we live, just off the coast of our beach where we swim. And I just remember that night hearing that like all the copies of the Jaws movies had been like rented out from all the video stores, and everyone was talking about it. And then my sister's boyfriend comes in and says, oh, he's just about to take a trip on a shark boat. They're going out to hunt sharks. Not because of that, just coincidentally. And that was when I started sort of getting sort of obsessed with Jaws and following that, because I'd seen the movie as a kid, and I sort of only was interested in the second half of the film when you start to see the shark. And I'd always sort of been, I'd only been moderately interested in it. I sort of forgot about it, and then this happened. I rented them out, and then they became a regular film, like other film franchises that I like Halloween and Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and that. So I would watch them regularly, and sort of every summer it's like a tradition to watch Jaws. And I myself don't swim. When I was a kid, I swam, never thought about it. When I became a teenager, and then, I don't know, I started to become, I just never swam. I think I went out once. I sort of was going for a walk one night when I was visiting my family, because I moved out when I was in university, and I went for like a skinny dip in the middle of the night when I was walking around at 10 or 11 at night or something. And I sort of had that moment at the start of the film, like, you're doing exactly what the girl does at the start of the film, and you sort of just become aware, because I don't know about you, when I swim, I just think in terms of surface, that you sort of, I never really think in terms of the volume and depth of the space underneath you and what could be in there. And it's only when that occurs to me that I suddenly become afraid. So then I got back out again. But that was probably the last time I really swam in the ocean. The other times, I've gone to the beach with friends just because I kind of have a bit of a Speedo fetish, so I'm always like finding excuses to wear them to the beach or whatever. Because the ones I like, the Aussie ones, they fade in chlorine, so you have to wear them to the beach. So I've gone a couple of times with friends because they sort of are like, oh, Steve's into Speedos. He's always like taking pictures at pool parties. He'd want to go to the beach. So occasionally I would get asked to go. People I'd just go, but I normally wouldn't go out past like my chest. Really, I'm just sort of walking out to get wet, and I come back in. And yes, I know shark attacks happen in shallow water, but I don't actually fear that part. It's the going out into the deeper water. So I haven't done that in years, and I don't think I ever will again, because ultimately I don't believe in hunting sharks. We're going in their territory. I just don't think it's right to kill them so we can be safe when we don't need to go in the water for any reason. But of course, people make money out of tourism, so they care more about that than they care about the sharks. And yes, well, you should care about human life, but well, if you care about your own life, don't go in the damn water. So, I mean, I feel bad for all these people because surfers, I mean, it is rare. Like I was watching a video where there was a lady swimming with a 5-meter shark, which they think is it deep blue or big blue? This shark that's sort of been spotted around the world for like decades. She's probably 50 years old. She's like 5 meters. She's like Jaws, the first one, not like the later ones. The later lady sharks that were twice as big as the original Bruce. Yeah, that just... she was just sort of saying how they swim past divers and swimmers all day, and they rarely ever actually attack someone, so they're not that dangerous. And seeing the behaviour of some of them, how sometimes they do seem to be very, it's something I can't quite grasp. You see a lot of videos of people swimming with sharks, and sharks just basically not reacting like, and then other times you see them reacting very aggressively, and I'm like, what is the difference? How can you tell when you're in danger from a shark and when you're just going to like glide past one and stroke it, and just like, it's surreal. You watch some of these videos, these people just swimming with these sharks like they're like dolphins or whales, and they do it all the time. But yet other people, they get attacked. So, and some of these sharks are aggressive, because like some of these people, they were circling and they were coming back, and they attacked them several times. There was 2 guys in a boat. It was attacking their boat, going around and around. They had one of the other ones. The police were pursuing it later, and it was there's a police officer on a jet ski, and it like literally squares off directly at him, and that. And I don't know. I just find it's just easy to just never go in the water again. I remember my mum moved out into my sister's old house, because she still lives on the beach, even closer on the beach, like literally on the beach now. And my mum was living in her place, which was just a little bit off the beach, like you just walk down the street basically. And I just remember sort of thinking, well, the beach is so close, I just have to walk down to the end of like the drive and across the road, and there it is. So I went to the beach a few times, mostly just to sort of have an excuse to like lay around on the beach in mosquitoes. And I walked in a couple of times, and I kind of was going to video myself just sort of walking in and swimming around and that, and I didn't get very far. I was sort of looking around and just being really well aware of the huge mass of space, like that of volume of like water and things that could be there that you just can't see. And then I just sort of came back out, and I put that on YouTube a little while later because I thought it looked funny when I sort of put it in that context of like knowing what I was thinking. You just see wander in and then wander back out. But I don't know, I just want to make a video about sharks and shark attacks. I'm going to do a little bit of research actually. I'm kind of curious how many shark attacks there are in Australia. I don't think we always catch them. I don't always catch the news, and I think I've missed a few. But I know when I was younger, my sister said that because she used to train horses, and she'd be taking them on the beach all the time, and she said quite a few times the police came to her and asked her to look out for, or they saw her on the beach and asked her if she could look out for body parts because, well, they didn't say why, but because people had gone missing. So there are probably a lot of shark attacks that don't get reported, or people who go missing who are shark attacks. So it's one of those things where, yes, it doesn't happen a lot, but I think it happens more than people think. And I don't know how much risk people really are at. I find it very easy just to not go in the water. But for the people who it's their way of life, I don't know how they do it. Like, there was a couple of guys who were swimming. The shark was circling them. One got nipped, basically. And he's like, as soon as my leg repairs, he's got stitches everywhere, he's going to go back in the water again. I'm like, I don't think I ever would. I don't think I'm going to go in anyway. But I don't see how I could after something like that. And you hear other stories of people being attacked and sharks circle, and you've got like people literally fighting the sharks, like punching them and trying to get away or trying to get someone to safety. So they are sometimes aggressive. So I don't know how to yeah, I'm just going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'm just going to post this, I think, on some of the Jaws Facebook pages, because I'm really curious how these people think of, like the fans of the movies, how they think of real life shark attacks and real life sharks and swimming. Like, how do they sort of watch Jaws as entertainment, but then sort of look at the real life and the real life situations and tragedies in that. So I'm just curious what people think about that and how people feel about their own sort of experience of being like a Jaws fan, or like being interested in sharks, and maybe feeling that it's morbid, or that, like, how can you be entertained by something that in real life is, so horrible? So I'm just curious about that, and I sort of want to watch a few more videos and do a bit of research, and I might do something a little bit more substantial later on, rather than just a few minutes waffling on about some shark attacks and what, I thought of them and that. So I'm going to go. Thanks, bye.